This is Dr. Mark Trexler with the Climate Countdown. Today, let's talk about the future of your carbon neutral credit card. A range of products and services today promise you carbon neutrality, often for free. Your credit card company might plant a tree and claim to have offset your purchases, or purchase actual offsets in the voluntary carbon market. Your shipping company might give you the option to pay a few cents for carbon neutral deliveries, and perhaps coming soon to a supplier near you, carbon neutral oil and carbon neutral natural gas. Carbon neutrality isn't new. The first carbon neutral company dates back to 1996, but carbon neutrality has become a much bigger business today. What's key to understand is that the cost of offsets probably doesn't show up anywhere on your credit card bill. It's basically a marketing expense for the company. But pulling that off at very little or even zero incremental cost to you depends on really cheap offsets, often costing just $1 to $3 per ton of carbon dioxide removed. But when companies started committing to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions to net zero by 2050, a few years ago, they were assuming the use of billions of tons of carbon offsets, representing a massive increase in voluntary market demand. At the same time, carbon offsets were entering the cryptocurrency world. A few innovators started tokenizing carbon offsets, effectively turning them into cryptocurrency units, and in one fell swoop, making it possible for anyone to start speculating that rising demand for offsets would lead to much higher offset prices. In fact, carbon offsets were reportedly the hottest commodity of 2021. So don't be surprised if you start getting cold calls urging you to invest your retirement savings into carbon offset tokens. Just remember that the last time you might have received such a call was 2008, just before offset markets collapsed. There's a big new player involved here, KlimaDAO. DAO, standing for Distributed Autonomous Organization, is a virtual organization of thousands of individuals hoping to make a lot of money while saving the planet. KlimaDAO plans to purchase all the carbon offsets it can find, tokenizing them along the way, and rapidly driving voluntary offset market prices to more than $100 a ton. KlimaDAO argues that this will force companies with net zero by 2050 commitments to actually reduce their emissions instead of buying offsets, thus accelerating the transition to a low-carbon economy. It's a noble ambition, although there are very questionable assumptions embedded into KlimaDAO's strategy. But what's clear is that KlimaDAO and market speculation generally is an existential threat to your carbon-neutral credit card, which probably couldn't survive $20 offsets, much less $100 offsets. So what might happen to carbon-neutral products and services? Well, the industry could take advantage of a nearly infinite supply of dodgy carbon offsets to keep costs low. Or it could pivot from promising carbon neutrality to promising carbon-friendlier purchases, where just a fraction of a purchase's footprint is being offset. Or the company could move beyond carbon offsets to what's being called carbon contribution claims. Instead of promising carbon neutrality, the pitch becomes, we have contributed to a climate-friendly project or initiative in your name. One way or another, however, the ground is shifting underneath your carbon-neutral credit card. As the adage goes, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. We're in for a wild ride when it comes to carbon offset markets. If you plan to play in them, do your due diligence. This is Mark Trexler with the Climate Countdown. Access more information on today's topic at our website, climatecountdown.climatesites.net. And thanks for listening.